the assembly line of Detroit sports. Tigers a chance to sweep the Yankees at the stadium. Witness Ian Kennedy on the mound against Detroit. And the Rook getting lit up by Miguel Ordonez here. Deep to right off the wall. Placido Polanco will score, as will the Iron Shaft. And we are tied at 3 in the third. Next guy up, Miguel Cabrera, hits it deep to right. Bobby Abreu going back, trying really hard. Earn his paycheck, just doesn't catch the ball. That's a bummer for him. Ordonez scores on the Cabrera triple. Brandon Inge signals, keep going, run faster. 4-3 Tigers. Kennedy, 4 2/3, 5 hits, 4 earned. Bottom 6, Yanks with the bases. Chuck, trail by 2, 2 out. Zach Miner facing Abreu. Flies out to center, though. That's easy enough. Cannon corner, look at Gabe Robertson. It's gun time! Top 7, same numbers. Miguel Cabrera deep to right. No, Abreu's not catching this one. He doesn't have to worry about the wall either. That one's over it. Tigers win 8-4. First 3-game sweep in New York since 1966. Yes, apparently the Tigers want their last experience at this Yankee Stadium to be a good one. The last time the Tigers swept at the stadium, Jim Leyland was a minor league player for the Rocky Mountain Leafs of the Carolina League. Joe Girardi was 18 months old, and the Yanks finished that season 70-89, 10th.
All right, Blue Jays and Red Sox, the game was over, and then all of a sudden it wasn't over. A.J. Burnett, 3-0, an ERA under 2 his last 3 starts against Boston. Brandon Moss, line drive, and great full extension by Aaron Hill, who tagged second for the double play, gets Burnett out of the gym. Top of the 7th, 2-0 Toronto. Going to add to that, Alex Rios goes big fly over the Green Monster off Tim Wakefield, 3-0 Toronto. Bottom 9, still 3-zip. B.J. Ryan in to close it out. Coco Crisp is going to pop out to right. Should be the final out of the game. That's the ball game. Right, wrong. Balk is called on Ryan. Blue Jays manager John Gibbons comes out to argue. They're saying Ryan does not stop in his delivery. Balk is the call. Gibbons will be thrown out, so the game allowed to continue. Barry's covering his eyes right here. Later in the at-bat, Crisp comes through with a single to right. Looks like the Jays could be in trouble, except Jed Lowry, the tying run, strikes out looking to end it. The Blue Jays do hang on to win 3.
Trying to make it a 6-game winning streak. Wes Helms doesn't want it that way.
Is he going to make that play? Yes, he is! Rafael Furcal!
A familiar voice returns to Sports Center. Magnificent fielding by Rafael Furcal to end the inning. Top 5, we're tied at 1-1. Pierre at the plate with 2 on. Lines a double. Chin Lung Hu. Furcal score. Dodgers take a 3-1 lead in Florida. A team badly in need of a Band-Aid. Matt Kemp, 10 for 22, batting .455, 10 ribbies during the Dodgers' hot 5-game win streak. He bloops one here. Yeah, they all go down when you're hitting it good. Furcal scores, and the Dodgers do extend that streak to 6 in a row. Marlins lose 5-3. Brewers Cubbies, rubber game of the series. Chicago dropped 19 runs on Milwaukee Wednesday night. They basically hammered them into the ground. Some sort of Cubby ritual there, I guess. Alfonso Soriano back in the lineup for the Cubbies, coming off the DL. Bottom 3rd scoreless. Carlos Zambrano, the pitcher. 1-2 pitch off super wide. Ivani Gallardo. That's a home run. Fans are very much pleased. It's 1-0 in favor of the Cubs. We go to the 6th. We're tied at 1 now, 2 outs. That hit, you know, will get you to heaven. 2-1. Billy Hall, base knocked. But Kosuke Fukudome comes up throwing in. Play at the plate, Prince Fielder, Giovanni Soto. How about props to that guy just for staying in there? Out number 3 as he hangs onto the ball. The inning's over. Now, Prince gave up eating the animals, but he's still plenty large. Soto, though, stays on his feet and gets the out. Home half of the 6th, 2-1. Soto doubles to left. Ramos Ramirez will score. Now, Fukudome, not as big as Prince, so he's coming in, but he is going to be called out to the plate. Sliding, it's 3-1 Cubs. Lou Piniella, slight disagreement. For him, it doesn't even look like maybe he was that upset. Top 9, Brewers trailing 3-1. Kerry Wood in to try and close this out. No. Jason Kendall, little grounder, gets knocked down by Ryan Terrio, but Craig Counsell will score. So it's 3-2 Crew, trailing by 1. Bases Chuck later in the frame. Home fans going nuts. Ryan Brown quiets them all. Braun out of the reach of Fukudome. 2-run score. Ricky Weeks trying to make it 3. A lot of plays at the plate, and none of them favorable for the guys trying to score. Now, he's out by plenty. Brewers, though, take the lead 4-3, and Piniella. Yeah, you're going to yell at your own guys, I guess. Now, bottom 9, Eric Gagne. Oh, Eric Gagne close. No, he gets out of this. Felix P.A. 6-4-3 double play to end the game, and the Crew come back, storm back. Well, thankfully, on occasion, the final score is still big news in big league baseball. Seattle and Cleveland. Rafael Betancourt throws a wild pitch, and Ichiro, who had singled to lead off the 9th, advances to 2nd as the Mariners try to get even in the same. They're down 1-0. Ichiro then tries to steal 3rd. Casey Blake doesn't make the catch. Ichiro scores. This is a manufactured run, but it's a one-man operation. Look at it again. Blake He's going to go for the tag before he gets the ball. Kids, remember that. Ball, tag. And that's the order. We're tied at 1. We go to the 10th. Richie Sexton. Hello. Big Sexy. 6th homer of the season, number 300 in his career. Congratulations. That's a fine career when you get to 300. Mariners lead 2-1 later in the inning. Vladimir Valentin up to bat. Broken bat. Hello. Masa Kobayashi avoids it. Take another look here. That's dangerous as that goes through there. Takeru Kobayashi would have eaten the bat 52 hot dogs. He's okay. Valentin, he's out. All right, bottom 10, bases loaded. Indians down 2-1. J.J. Putz walks Grady Sizemore to force in the tying run. Next batter, Casey Blake. In the dirt. Swings. 2 outs. David DeLucci gets him. So the inning's over. We go to the 11th. And the Indians will load them up again, and this time they are not going to waste the opportunity. As Drupal Cabrera. That is a game-winning RBI single that went clear to the wall. Jason Michael scored. The Indians score 3-2. They get a win.
The Athletics and the Angels will say hi to Nick Adenhart, making his Major League debut. According to ESPN.com's Keith Law, Adenhart is baseball's 23rd ranked prospect. Solid fastball, good curve, strong command. About the command part, it's 1-0 A's, and then walks Ryan Sweeney, and it's 2-0. Well, you get the idea. About the command part, Adenhart, 2 innings, 3 hits, 5 earned, 5 walks, no strikeouts. Just in the bottom of the second, 2 down. Garrett Anderson. Easy fly to Jack Costa on the left. Can't accord. Right, wrong. Oops. It's like in and out in basketball, in and out in baseball. That error would lead to 5 runs for the Angels in that second inning. Now, Costa would make up for it in the top of the 5th. The A's are running a promotion in which plaza-level tickets to this Sunday's game, normally $24, discounted by $1 for every hit the A's get in Thursday's game. They got 20 hits. Those tickets are $4. What a bargain.
Rays, Orioles, both teams better than expected in April, above 500 as we begin May. Brian Burris struggles when he pitches against the Rays. He's 0 for 2, ERA of 11.42, and Johnny Gomes has read the scouting report, knows he's supposed to tee off on him. 2-0 Tampa. Top 5, we're tied at 2. B.J. Upton, big swing, and immediately he is in pain. Ouch. As he takes a swing, lets go of the bat, grabs the shoulder, left the game with a strained shoulder. He would not return. Matt Garza, other side, 3-0 against the O's in his career. Garza strikes out Melvin Moore. He went 6, struck out 3, allowed 3 hits. The top of the 7th, we're tied at 2. Not any longer. Carl Crawford singles. 2 runs will score. Rays win 4-2, their 8th victory in the last 9 games. Padres and Phillies, their first 2 games at the bank. Back at the bank, Randy Wolf facing the old club for the first time. Remember way back when he was there? Oh, he had the Wolf Pack, big fan club, nice. Well, you go back to Reality Thursday, and basically the club's now just got one guy, and he's got a really bad haircut. Bottom 5, we're tied at 2-1 on. Wolf strikes out Ryan Howard, who now has 39 Ks on the season. Pat the Bat goes down as well. And then Pedro Feliz. Wolf, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned, 9 Ks, but no decision. Why? Ryan Howard. Where? Philadelphia. Bottom 8, we're tied at 2. Oh, yeah, such a vessel had Samuel. Howard's 6th homer, 2 for 4, couple of ribs, and the Phils lead at 3-2. That's going to bring out Brad Lidge, and that means lights out for you, Jimmy Edmonds. Lidge, 7th save, hasn't allowed an earned run in 12 innings this season. The Phillies win 3-2, and I believe the saying there in Philly is, oh, happy day. Top place, do our best there, huh? Sports Center style, number 10.
Fred?
Yep, Royals Rangers, Brandon Boggs, long fly ball to left. David DeJesus going back the track, going, over the shoulder catch. That's well done. And the Rangers, last team to double-digit wins in April, they get their 2nd in a row, 2-1.
At number 9, the 4th annual World Water Bombing Championships in Sheffield, England. Of course, divers competed to create the largest splash. Also awarded points. Thomas Martin wins in a bomb-off with a score of 39.5 points, over $19,000 raised for cancer.
Guy can stand to lose 30 pounds. A's Angels at number 8. Rob Quinlan, line drive to right. Mike Sweeney, the leaping catch. Look at that. Whee! I got it. A's, however, win big.
They call it a bomb-off. We call it a belly flop. Number 7, Wachovia Championship. Sergio Garcia, long, snaking, birdie, putt, shoots, and scores. Finished a 1 under par. David Toms, your leader, at 5 under after the first round.
All right, number 6, cricket action. This is Taruar Kohli as he and a teammate collide, but they make the catch. Look at that again. Oh. And the Royals cruise to a 45-run victory. They're not from Kansas City, obviously.
Number 5, Nationwide Tour, South Georgia Classic. Nick Malinowski on the par 4 13th. From the fairway, lands the ball short of the cup. until it rolls in for the Eagle. Malinowski shot a 1/73 in the first.
Number 4, the crew, Brewers, Cubbies, Bill Hall singles, and look out Giovanni Soto, because Prince Fielder is coming, and he's a bigot. Oh, you know, force or whatever it is, weight times speed, mass, whatever, that had to hurt, but he held on to it. The Brewers, though, ended up winning.
You don't see enough collisions at the plate anymore, I say. Blue Jays, Red Sox, Brandon Moss, line drive up the middle, Aaron Hill, the diving catch. Can't assume the double play, but in this case, I guess you can.
Yeah, you can.
Blue Jays blank the Red Sox 3-0. Number 2.
Dodgers, Marlins, Wes Helms, ground ball to left side, Rafael for call. That is good range, and that is a good hose. One more time. I'd give him 2 outs on that play, as long as we give him 2 looks. Good pick on the other end.
And number 1, you know what just happened again? The Red Wings just scored again, and again, and again, and again. I mean, unbelievable. Pavel Datsyuk to Henrik Zetterberg. Red Wings, I think they just scored again. 8-2, they advance on.
Excellent this season. 3-0 in April. ERA 1.25. Of course, it is May if you checked your calendar. If you haven't, I'm telling you it's so. Ian Kinsler smacks one to left. You get a point for that. It's called a home run. Second of the season. Now, Sidney Ponson making his second start this season. Pitching well gets Alex Gordon grounded with double play. Ponson, 8 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run. His first win in exactly a year. C.J. Wilson will close it out for him, gets marked 10. Rangers win 2-1. Wilson 6-8. Had this been cricket, the Royals would have won by 45.
Mets, Diamondbacks, Majors Best Arizona sending 4-0 Micah Owings to the bump against the Amazons. First pitch of the game, Jose Reyes deep to right. It's a leadoff triple, one of 2 triples on the night for Reyes. He would later score on a sac fly. His Mets are up 1-0. Inning continues. It's Moises Alou making his season debut with a runner on second. Alou hard to second base. Orlando Hudson can't make the play. David Wright scores, officially ruled a hit. New York up 2-0. Top 2 with a man on second, Ryan Church. Into the gap in right center. That'll score Reyes, who had doubled earlier in the inning. 4-0 Mets on back-to-back doubles. Bottom 2, Diamondbacks down to Orlando Hudson. Fly ball, foul. David Wright is there in support of John Maine. 6 innings, 2 earned, and worth another look. Wright, tremendous. Top 6 with 2 out. Wright steps in against Owing with a runner on second, and Owings has to turn and watch it fly. Wright's 14-game homerless drought over. Number 5 on the season. New York's up 7-2. Top 8, it's that Reyes kid. He needs a homer for the cycle. It's deep to center field, and Reyes, he's got wheels, so he's going for the inside the park job. Reyes, 4 hits, 2 triples, a double, and a single, and he's meat at the plate. Mets, winners of 14 of their last 15 in Arizona. 7-2 is your final.
Phillies and Giants, first of 3 from the city of brotherly love. Bottom 1, Chase Utley. Is there anyone hotter right now in baseball than this slugger? His league-leading 12th home run of the season, 2-run blast, 2-0 Phillies. Aaron Rowan back in Philadelphia for the first time since signing with Los Gigantes in the offseason. And remember this, back in 2006, he became a Philly fan favorite forever with this effort. This great catch against the Mets, broke his nose in the process. And on Friday, the Philly fanatic making fun of that. You know, with the fanatic's nose, he really should not be making fun of other people. That's just me. 7th inning, game tied at 4, 2 on, 2 outs for the former Philly Aaron Rowan, and grab some wood, bub. Ends the inning. To the 10th inning, J.C. Romero, 28 1/3 scoreless innings this season and part of last, a streak that is the longest in the majors currently, facing Rowan with the score tied at 4, and the former Philly burning his old team. His 3rd home run of the season, and the Giants have a 5-4 lead. Home half, it's Pat the Bat. Pat Burrell, 3rd career walk-off homer. Is this guy in a contract year or what? Phillies win 6-5.
Well, I'll take your finish in 10 and raise you. Cubs, Cardinals, St. Louis with a half-game lead over Alfonso Soriano's Chicago crew coming in. Soriano, rough day, bottom 7. His Cubs down a run. Soriano misplaying the Albert Pujols pop fly, falls in for a base knock. 3 batters later with a couple of outs. It's Soriano in the spotlight again. He can't make the play on Yadier Molina. Fly ball. Rick Ankiel scores. Cardinals up 3-1. Top 9, that's the count. Jason Isringhausen has to turn and watch it fly off the bat of Soriano with 1 aboard. Izzy's third blown save of the season, Soriano's third jack, and we're tied at 3. Bottom 11, Skip Schumacher untying things. This off Chad Fox. Schumacher with his first career walk-off shot, make it 3 straight wins for the Central leading Red Angels. Jared Weaver coming in 2-0 with a 0 ERA and 2 starts against the O's. Top 1 were scoreless. No longer. Nick Markakis taking Weaver for a ride. His 5th home run of the season. Weaver 7 innings, 4 earned, 6 Ks. Orioles up 1-0. Bottom 9, Angels down 2 runs. They're on the corners for Eric Ibar. He's going down the third baseline. Melvin Mora making the throw home. Torrey Hunter called safe. Check it out. Ramon Hernandez tagging Hunter just as he crosses the plate. Skipper Dave Tremblay, of course, doesn't like the call. Doesn't like this development either. Inning continues. Bases loaded for Reggie Willips. He pops out to Brian Roberts. That's your ball game. O's start their 10-game road trip on a winning note. 4-3 is your final.
Rays percentage points ahead of the Red Sox in the AL East. These are the standings before that Baltimore Orioles game was played. Clay Buchholz in some trouble in the 3rd. 2 on, no one out. Gets Johnny Gomes for out number 1. Carlos Pena looking. Throw what you know. Evan Longoria looking with the fastball. 6 Ks for Buchholz. He strikes out the side to get out of trouble in the 3rd. 4th inning. The Red Sox offense, would have scored just 3 runs in their last 3 games, gets going in the 4th. Brandon Moss, 2nd homer of the year. 3 batters later, Jacoby Ellsbury brings in Jason Varitek. Next batter, Dustin Pedroia with ducks on the pond. And that dog will hunt. Julio Lugo. Ellsbury scored. 3 ribs for Pedroia, 5-0 Red Sox. They score 5 times in the 4th. They had scored just 4 times in the last 5 games, and the Red Sox win 7-3.
Mariners Yankees at the Stadium, New York, announcing Friday catcher Jorge Posada will miss at least 5 weeks with an inflamed rotator cuff. Bottom 1 were scoreless. Hideki Matsui with 2 aboard, singling to left off Eric Bedard. Derek Jeter scores. Matsui with a 12-game hit streak, 1-0 Bombers. Bottom 2, Jose Molina steps in. Bedard strikes him out. Morgan Ensberg running on the play. Jose Lopez drops the throw, his 3rd error of the season, 1 of 4 Seattle errors Friday night. Inning continues with 2 aboard Melky Cabrera, a double to left. Ensberg and Alberto Gonzalez score on Cabrera's 3rd double of the season. 3-0 Yankees. Plenty of run support for Chen-Ming Wong. 6-0 career against the Mariners coming in. Top 6. Wong gets Adrian Beltre swinging. Wong 6 innings. He's the AL's first 6-game winner. Twins up 1-0. Maglia Ordonez taking the Hernandez offering deep and gone. Home run number 6 on the season for Mags, and we're tied at a run apiece. AL's leading base stealer, Carlos Gomez, taking off first. Attempting to steal second, but as he slides in, he gets hit with Ivan Rodriguez's throw on the side of the helmet. Gomez clearly in pain on the ground. Pudge checking on Gomez to see if he's okay. Doctors come out to check. Gomez would have to be carted off the field.
Under his own power. Two-run ball game.
Nick Punto at second, running for Gomez. Joe Mauer at the plate, singling to right. Punto scores. Twins get the victory. 11-1 is the final.
Brewers visiting the Astros. Earlier in the day at a benefit for muscular dystrophy, Miguel Tejada had a special message for some of the kids at the benefit.
Miguel Tejada said that he would promise that he would hit a home run for me.
And in the bottom of the 6th, Miguel Tejada lived up to that promise, a 2-run home run. It's been a rough few months for Miguel Tejada for a lot of reasons, but he was able to put a smile on that young man's face. His 5th home run of the year ties the game at 4. Next batter, Lance Berkman, the big Puma. 9th home run of the season. Astros up 5-4. Very next batter, El Caballo, Carlos Lee. 3 consecutive homers on 12 pitches from Villanueva, and the Astros win 7-4.
Dodgers-Rockies, L.A. putting a 6-game win streak on the line. Rafael Furcal and company against the very Colorado club it started against. Top 6 with 2 aboard for Call. A 3-run shot, his 4th homer of the season. Dodgers with a 7-run 6th. Brad Penny in line to pick up his 5th win of the season. Bottom 7, Todd Helton hits, and that's a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. Check it out, Matt Holliday hits his head on Furcal's knee. Holliday would be okay. Top 8, Dodgers up 8-6. They're loaded for Matt Kemp. He doubles down the third base line. That'll score Blake DeWitt, Furcal, and Juan Pierre make it 7 straight wins for LA. 11-6 is your final.
Padres and Marlins. It was bark in the park night for the Marlins. And, you know, celebrities out in force. For instance, the legendary Sir Harley. Who is Sir Harley? Well, Sir Harley of Shenandoah is his full name. He's a Shiloh Shepherd, and he's the winningest dog in the U.S. 112 best in shows. Now tell me, which one of these dogs would you want as a wide receiver in your football team? Now there's Jennifer Aniston and Owen Wilson. They're filming a movie in Miami, and they shot a scene at the stadium. Now this is part of the scene, dogs running away from them. But more importantly, what does Kate Hudson think about those two? I don't know. Much more later. Dan Uggla, 3-run homer, his second homer of the game for the Marlins. And the Marlins go on to win 6-4. They snap a 3-game losing streak. Superman next.
Reds Braves, Atlanta hoping to put the brakes on its season-high 4-game skid. NL ERA leader Edinson Volquez on the hill for the Reds. Bottom 4, Brian McCann, a 2-run shot, his 6th of the season. Atlanta's up 2-0. Top 5, Tim Hudson dialed in, getting Edwin Encarnacion swinging. Scott Hatteberg, take a seat. Paul Bacco, Hudson strikes out the side with 10 pitches in the 5th. Top 8, Joey Votto grounded at first. Mark Teixeira, great stop, flip to Hudson for the out, inning over. Top 9, Hudson still in there. He gets Ken Griffey Jr. to fly out to right. Ball game, Hudson, 10 strikeouts on the way to his 11th career shutout. Braves win.
Blue Jays hosting the White Sox in Toronto. They've just stopped giving up runs. Oh, they are rocking the powder blues. That's a classic look right there. Blue Jay pitchers, 1.19 ERA over the last 5 games. But Toronto's Sean Markham fighting an upset stomach. Didn't look like it, though. Orlando Cabrera, Jermaine Dye go down swinging in the 1st, and then Markham threw up. He got sick after the 1st and 2nd innings. He's still in there in the 6th. Gets Jim Thome, 9 Ks over 6 2/3 for Markham. Look at that play by Orlando Cabrera, starting the double play off the bat of Vernon Wells. But then in the 8th, it's Cabrera that gets robbed. Off the glove of Scott Rowland. John McDonald, Johnny on the spot. Blue Jays shut out the White Sox 2-0.
Oh, that fancy animation can only mean one thing. It's time for Friday's top plays. Number 10, Cubs Cardinals. Mark DeRosa into center. Rick Ankiel diving and catching. Cardinals won 5-3 in 11.
Second round of the Wachovia Championship, Andres Romero from the bunker. But he's 8 strokes back of the leader, Jason Bourne.
Number 8, Rangers A's, Josh Hamilton. Chasing it back to the wall. Oh, what a tremendous grab. You'll see more from this game in a bit. Hamilton getting it done big time.
At number 7, Celtics and Hawks, Kevin Garnett rejected by Josh Smith. This guy is becoming one of the prolific shot blockers for his age.
Number 6, Mets Diamondbacks, David Wright running from 3rd, chasing a foul ball, lays out, robbing Orlando Hudson. Wright also with a home run in this one. His Mets win 7-2.
At number 5, Russian Premier League soccer, and a lot of names with very few vowels. Alexander Pavlenko comes flying out of nowhere to beat the goalie. Spartak Moscow wins 3-0.
Number 4, Rangers A's, Donnie Murphy chasing a foul pop. Get out of the way, Tarp! Or not. Wow. But his A's lost 4-3.
Padres and Marlins, it's Dan Uggla
At the plate, as he bangs one up the middle. Uggla diving stop, throw to first. He got him! What a play by Uggla. Ball game over.
He also had 2 homers.
Number 2, IIHF World Hockey Championship. Canada taking on Slovenia. Danny Heatley, the backhand flip, top shelf goal. Heatley with 3 goals became Team Canada's all-time leading scorer at this event. Canada gets the victory 5-1.
But our top play, White Sox and Blue Jays, the OC, Orlando Cabrera. Man, that is very, very good. Sliding catch to start the 6-4-3 double play.